Hi, this is Ingrid from Quiltessential Co, and it's August already, and we're going to be working on our block of the month. And this is a fun block, and it makes a really cute quilt, so I hope you'll enjoy making this one. And we've got lots to share, so let's get on with our day and start cutting out. So we're cutting our block out. Here's A, and you need to just make a long strip. Be careful with B and C. They're both the same. You need to cut your big square first. If you don't, and you just cut a skinny strip, you won't have enough for your big square. So cut your big squares first, and then you'll have your skinniest strip beside it. So make sure you do it in that order, you'll be good. And then with D, 2 squares, and E, 1 square. And you're good to go. So taking your A strip, you're going to use the wide side of your ruler, and this is the 2 peaks in 1, just like normal, and you're going to cut up, cut down, and then flip the ruler, and you're going to go along and keep cutting, and you will end up with 4 of these large triangles. You're also going to take your strip that you cut, the skinny strip of your B and your C, fold it right sides together. I like to give this a good press so it doesn't move. And you're going to cut your skinny triangles with the other end of the ruler. And what I like to do first of all is cut off and make this nice and straight. And once I do, I'm going to just give it a little fudge factor down the side, cut. I'm going to cut another set of those in a second, and then before you move them too far, put the baseline over here, the diagonal over here, and don't forget to cut that little piece off the corner. You're going to have 2 sets of your B and C. And then you're going to take your A's, and you will do 2 one way and 2 the other way. So you're going to sew, a B onto an A, B onto an A, and then you'll have the other ones on the other side. B onto an A, B onto an A. Once you've pressed it, then you're going to add your C. So you'll get 2 that look like this, and you will get 2 that look like this. Don't forget to trim them up the way I show you in your booklet, because we want to make sure we do not lose the point. So make sure your measurement is right on the point, and then trim these 3 sides, leave the base alone, and you should be good. So you're going to make those units. Now you have your D squares, and they're both the same. And you're going to put 1 with a B and 1 with a C. If you have the half square triangle 4 in 1 ruler, you are going to mark across either side of the diagonal like this, and you're going to sew on those lines. If you don't have one of those rulers, just take some kind of ruler and go from diagonal point to diagonal point, or mark a center line, and then sew 1/4 inch on either side of your center line, whichever way works for you. Once you've done that, you are going to take these, cut them right on the center diagonal. If you have the 4 in 1 half square triangle ruler, I would be putting the mark that I tell you on the sewn line, and then you are going to trim up the side. When you open it, it will be perfect. If you don't have one of those, you then press, and I've told you which way to press. So you press, and then you trim it square to the size that I've told you. So either way, if you have this ruler, use it, and if you don't, just do it the old-fashioned way. Now you're going to put your block together. So here is your center block. Here are your half square triangles that you made with your B and your C and your D's. Here are the A, B, and C. So you're going to put them all together like this in rows, and I've told you which way to press them so it's nice and flat. And this makes kind of a cool block. So you can put it in this direction in the quilt, all the same, or if you're going to change it, you could do half of them this way, half of them the other way. It's a fun block to play with. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed that block and you found it fairly simple. So just to keep you in the loop, we are having our anniversary August sale on the 19th to the 21st. That's a Wednesday through to Saturday, and we have some really good deals. It's usually things that we only have one or two of, or we have way too many of them, but there's lots of deals on fabric and kits and patterns and all kinds of notions. And it's, of course, it's in store and it's selected items, but there's usually tons and tons. So if you need to have a backing or a border or something else that you need to get, it's a great time to bring your measurements and your little scraps so that you can match everything up and get a really good deal. So hopefully we'll see you then. And if you found this video useful, please leave us a like or click subscribe for future content. And this has been Ingrid from Quiltessential Co. And thank you for sewing with me today, and we'll see you again soon.